Hello again, everyone. We got the super deformed Ferrari F40 Competizione by ChoroQ Zero. It's number Z-79 in the zero lineup. So they're getting up there, the amount of zeros out there. This is an officially licensed product here. It's a relatively recent release. I think it was released in 2022. So this is a pullback toy, if you're not aware. A little fan club card in here. Never bothered to know what any of that does. There's a number. And we got the blister toy there, and then this one has separate mirrors. They are painted, which is a nice touch, but the problem is there's no peg holes, I don't think. So, although this one doesn't use peg holes, it seems like there's two. Hold on, let me get this out of here. Looks like there's two stalks, and you'd have to super glue it to the window. I'm debating this because I know that eventually I'll probably knock the thing off, and then there'll just be an ugly super glue stained, and if I can't find the mirror, then I'll just have an ugly Choro-Q, right? But yeah, there's two stalks, and I guess you're supposed to glue them on right there, or maybe onto the glass itself, but I'm not going to risk it. No. I wish they would make rubbery mirrors like Tiny Q or if you're Mini GT. Those two, brands make mirrors around this size, but they're made out of rubber, so they won't snap off. And for the price of a ChoroQ Zero, they really should. I mean, these are probably one of the most impractical scaled vehicles you could buy as far as money value goes. They're really overpriced. Alright, well anyways, you can see it's clearly a deformed version of these photographs. A tall cabin. It's funny. Yeah, we got the black wing. There is, I think, a central strut there. I can't tell. There's something right there, but I don't know about here. But this one clearly has a big central strut. It's more of a top view. Okay. So one nice thing about ChoroQ Zeros is they do mold wheels specific to the real car. So these are not standard 5-spokes from ChoroQ. In fact, they have some sitting around here. These are standard 5-spokes. They could have been lazy and done that, but again, these are overpriced, so I'm just happy to have some unique wheels. And they have like a cotter pin to hold the center cap on. There's no brake system, which is unfortunate. They could have maybe molded in a rotor or something. And then it's got rubbery tires, but I feel the Zero tires are worse than the old ChoroQs because they look so flat. They don't look like they're ballooning air. So on the front it's not so bad. It's a low profile tire, but here, it being so tall, I just think it would look better if it was curved like the older ones. So this construction has a screw in the front and probably a tab hidden away back there. I'm not sure though. So it is obviously, it's telling you what it is and also the licensing. And then here's a production dial, so let's see if we can zoom in on when this thing was really made. Yeah, it was made in August 2022, so pretty new. And then here on the side, we have a nice graphic of the prancing horse, and then, some really truncated, squished venting. These are actually recessed, no paint though. Well, but then again, you wouldn't really see them from the side on the real car, so only from the front rear view you'd see the black holes. There's black paint here though, in the recess going around the whole body of the car. On the front we got some radiator details, it looks like, and then some brake vent details painted. Just plain, this is another thing, criticism for this brand. If Hot Wheels can print realistic looking headlights for $1, why does this not have that kind of stuff? It should have graphics, if not a clear lens, in actual headlights like Tiny Q does for a lot less money. Ferrari badge is alright. there's some black paint in there, and then here you can see the frosted canopy, and the motor here is one of those low flat rectangular ones, a more modern motor, I guess. Yeah, nice little details here though, the sliding windows and stuff, and then printed on fuel fillers, and then the nice louvers here, so that's good. And then this black part of the wing, I don't know if it's a separate piece, I assume it is, because it's such a good break there. And then F40 is engraved there. And then the taillights make sense, there's orange here and white for the backups and red, and then there's a little egg crate grill back there. Another criticism for ChoroQ is you gotta lose these coin holders. It detracts from the model. I don't think anyone's ramming these into walls, you know, using them as toys. I almost feel like ChoroQ should just make two different lines of products. Ones that look just like cars, and then the toys that actually have the wind-up motor. But yeah, I feel like, you know, it's just hiding so much of the rear end that could look nice. So now I'm noticing it does have the like 3 exhaust holes there. I'm not sure what the central hole is. Please leave a comment if you know. And then they even have louvers here in the bottom, so that's pretty neat. Sort of a diffuser as well. Okay. So it's standard ChoroQ. There's a lip I didn't notice before. Standard ChoroQ design and execution. It's just that TinyQ is the best as far as mass-produced super deformed vehicles, and TinyQs cost like half as much. Definitely a significant difference. Let's pull out a few other Ferraris here. Here's a really old ChoroQ of this F1 Ferrari, and you'll see here the tires actually have raised lettering for the Dunlop, so I think that's pretty neat. This one says it's from 1984, somewhere between 1980 and 84. It's a different deformation though, it's much longer. I'll put that back there. Put that back there because I actually have the normal F40 with the more iconic F40 wheels. Yeah, so this is the road-going F40 Z-76. And I like the F40 so much that I got the yellow version as well. Let's see. I'll also pop up an F50 from the Zero line. And probably my favorite one is these Racing 250 GTO, number Z65. What else? Oh, yeah, there's a couple more zeros here. This is an F50 355 Challenge. And then this is the normal road-going version. So the wheels are different between those two. I'll put up this old classic again. This one has the raised lettering, but they're not Dunlop. It just says Q, 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 and C or something. And this one is from 1980, or that's all it says, 1980 Japan. It's a 240 Dino or something. And the very last one is a free 3D print file from Dendeba. In my subscriptions, you can look up Dendeba, and he makes a bunch of realistic looking and super deformed models, and then he gives out the files for free. So if you have a 3D printer, yeah, I like the Testarossa enough that I downloaded this and printed it and painted it. I don't have clear resin like he uses. I should probably buy some clear resin so I can have some clear windows in these things. But anyways, that's a great one. Alright, so there we have a bunch of super deformed Ferraris now. I can't hold the camera steady, sorry. Let's let that spin a little bit more. Alright, got it spinning with my ResinWorks figure there. It's a 3D printed figure that someone sells. I don't know if you can buy them now, but Alright, well, as I mentioned, a lot of criticisms with this brand, but I don't see anyone else making a super deformed F40 Competizione, so there's really no other choice. There's probably some other colorways of this. Maybe there's a yellow one. I'm not sure. Well, thank you for watching today. I'll see you in the next super deformed Ferrari video.